Today I'd like to talk with you about the benefits of opening yourself up to appreciating the smaller and more subtle things in the world of nature and in your own consciousness. When it comes to psychoactive plants, many people seem to be more interested in pursuing the most powerful, potent psychedelics. Certain well-known people have extolled the virtues of taking heroic doses. Although this can be very rewarding, for some people it can be disastrous, especially if they don't have a good understanding of set and setting, or reliable and wise friends to help them get through it. There has also been a glamorization of taking things to psychedelic extremes that has more than a hint of macho competitiveness, and projects disdain towards people who can't deal with those levels of psychedelic excess, or those who are honest enough to admit that it scares them. I think something is wrong with the way many people are approaching powerful psychedelics like DMT, for example, when they feel the need to use them as frequently as possible, and yet find it difficult to express what exactly they are learning from it that they haven't already learned, or couldn't have learned through less extreme means. I wonder if perhaps many people have trouble in paying attention to actually take in what they are being given without needing to be repeatedly bludgeoned by the weightiest Gnostic hammers in the cosmic toolbox. So, in light of this, let's discuss a little secret that isn't really a secret. High doses of psychedelics aren't necessary for a powerful and meaningful experience if you learn to be quiet and pay attention. Many people go through a psychedelic experience with lots of talking and dancing, which can be wonderful but can also be a distraction from the full potential of the experience. In fact, I believe many people take this approach precisely because it can reduce the intensity and increase the enjoyment so that the whole thing is more pleasant and less challenging. It's well known that if you withdraw from distractions and close your eyes, the experience instantly becomes more powerful and deep. Even with eyes open, simply gazing quietly at a point in the distance and meditating can lead to very deep places. The moment you start talking or decide to watch a movie or do something else, those depths of thought retreat and dissipate. If you take more moderate doses, it isn't necessary to be having wild, open-eyed visuals to be having a very powerful and meaningful psychedelic experience. All you need to do is minimize distractions, step back, be humble and open, and pay attention. If you practice opening your senses like this, you can find great depth in the smallest things without needing a megadose to tear your third eye open by brute force. This brings us to the last part of this mini talk, which is about learning to appreciate the gifts of common garden plants that might not be powerful psychedelic teachers, but still have beneficial effects on the mind and body. Psychoactive plants are all around us, but many get overlooked, either because they are also quite toxic, or because they are mild enough or so common that people don't think of them as psychoactive. People with drug habits can find it hard to appreciate that milder plant drugs are doing anything at all, probably because their expectations of what a drug should do are higher, and their brain receptors may be desensitized to stimuli. These days, something like tea is not considered a psychoactive drug by many people, although when it was first introduced to Western society and people were more open to its effects, it was often drunk in quantities that resulted in exhilaration, and the moral party poopers of the time voiced concerns about teaism, which was the tea version of alcoholism. One beautiful group of plants, which are so common as to be overlooked as psychoactive, are the lavenders, which I've chosen as an example to finish on. Nearly everyone knows the sight and smell of lavender, which can be any one of the species or hybrids within the genus Lavandula, which is part of the mint family. Some people react negatively to the smell of lavender, but most people find it very comforting and pleasant. This isn't just because we think it smells nice, or because it brings up some positive memories through association. Lavenders and many other aromatic plants do actually have a measurable effect on the central nervous system. Lavenders have been used in herbal medicine across the globe to treat anxiety, stress, depression, dizziness, insomnia, headaches, pain, and nausea. They are usually taken either as a tea made from the flowers or the essential oil is inhaled or rubbed on the body. One species, Lavender sticus, isn't much good at relieving anxiety, but in India it is believed to strengthen brain powers, expel brain crudities, and clarify the intellect. Most of the more common lavender species have essential oils that contain mostly a mix of linalool and linaloyl acetate, but Lavender sticus contains instead mostly fenchone, camphor, and eucalyptol. Experimental studies with essential oils and their main constituents have verified most of the central nervous system activities claimed for lavenders in rodents and humans. Lavenders rich in linalool and linaloyl acetate seem to act on glutamate receptors and serotonin receptors, as well as increasing levels of the neurotransmitter acetylcholine. All of this is pretty wonderful for a group of common plants that we take for granted, and that's just one example. Rather than seeking out exotic and rare plants and contributing to their exploitation, plant helpers can be found all around, right under your nose. Just like profound awareness can be found by paying attention to the little things that are right there. Now is certainly a good time to go small and fully appreciate the subtle side we've been neglecting.